What's going on YouTube? JT's Reborn here, and welcome back to another edition of my DC comic book reviews. And in this video, I'm going to be talking about Dark Crisis Warzone one-shot. That's right, another Dark Crisis spin-off thing, because that's exactly what this event needs. More spin-offs that are pretty much just padding / filler. And that's this issue in a nutshell. Okay, end of video. All right, just kidding. Bye-bye. Also, anyways, so I'm back. Sorry I'm a few days late on some of these comic book reviews. Normally I would have had these all out on Tuesday. Then I went to saw a movie Tuesday night, and then Wednesday I was like, no. Thursday, no. And I'm like, okay. So there's going to be this one. There's going to be Batman 130. And then I have one Godzilla comic book review that's going to be out probably just tomorrow. I'll probably just do the 2 DC comic book reviews tonight. And I'll get the Godzilla one out by tomorrow. And maybe some other videos out this weekend too, but only time will tell. So yeah, that's what's up. So let's go ahead and talk about this Dark Crisis Warzone thing. Dark Crisis has been a disaster. Let's be frank. Is it the worst thing that's ever happened to DC? No, but is it, with the title Dark Crisis on Infinite Earths, has it been very good? No, not really. This one's just a bunch of filler side stuff that doesn't do much to add to the overall story. You can skip it. It's mostly filler. Just to kind of see what everyone else is doing as this battle is going on. It's just it's like random side quests in a video game. That's what this feels like. There's one where it's Iris West and Linda Park. This one's written by Jeremy Adams, is the first one, and it's very quick, very brief, and has it feels like it could fit right into the Flash run. So that one's not half bad. Then we have a Spectre one, which actually isn't too bad either. You get Spectre versus Raven, and there's some really gorgeous looking artwork sprinkled in throughout it. But as it stands, the story itself is just kind of all right. Then you get a really forgettable one with the Amazonians, written by several people. The artwork is okay, but the story doesn't really add much to the overall narrative. Then we get a Green Lanterns one by Matthew Rosenberg. Not a huge fan of the art style per se. It was kind of neat to read a Green Lantern storyline. Did I say Green Arrow earlier? Green Lantern, because I haven't really been reading any current Green Lantern stuff in a while. Some of the dynamics okay and on point. But as it stands, the story does feel like yet another kind of filler, pointless one. And then the final storyline is focused on Red Canary, and you have Damian in there. And why didn't they just make her a teenager? I don't get the reasoning for making her college age if she's going to be hanging out with Damian. She looks about the same age. Damian, she even calls him Pipsqueak, but apparently the artist didn't get the memo because he's taller and larger than her. The art is so inconsistent, like the Mark Waid story, or the last Dark Crisis, the Dark Army one. When did I cover that? Last week? At one point, it's like, I'm 5'4", 140 pounds. Yeah, bullshit, not according to this art style. Also, isn't he supposed to be aging and growing up? Like, why? Yeah, and why is he being written to be such an asshole still? Granted, yeah, this is kind of a serious situation. He's like, you shouldn't be here, blah, 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 blah. But at the same time, it's like he's just calling her a new girl. He doesn't even bother calling her Red Canary. And just, I don't know, it just feels really angsty and just dumb. So as she's about to get attacked, he saves her once again. And he scolds her like, go ahead and go to that bus. Even though I'm supposed to be the young pipsqueak kid and you're supposed to be a college student. Why don't they just make her a teenager? It would be so much more effective. It would make sense why he's like kind of able to seemingly boss around. Because if some kid is going to talk to you like the college student who is probably the adult at this point, are you really going to listen to them? And then she does. Then she goes into this bus, and there just happens to be Dollmaker in there. And then her hero, Black Canary, shows up, and we get kind of a rough tacked on origin. It's like, I watched you perform at a concert once, and then you fought some people, and then you became my hero, and yada yada yada. They're buddy and all that other stuff. I don't know. It just, even the tone of it feels off. This is supposed to be a world-ending event, and it's just the banter. And it doesn't feel right. It's like all this stuff just feels like pointless filler. No full guidance or anything. There's some inconsistencies with how the characters are drawn and acted at with the overall Dark Crisis narrative. And once again, this just and like Red Canary too. What a letdown so far in terms of just all this hype surrounding this character. Like, yeah, here we go. They're gonna have a big, large role to play in this thing, and they're just in the filler side missions. They're not even a part of like the big main Dark Crisis series. They haven't really stepped up or anything. And also, like, what's even the point of them at this point? Like, why are they aged up and then they're kind of like paired off with Damian and all these things when he's supposed to be a teenager? Shouldn't she be a teenager too? Wouldn't that make more sense? as to why she's really inexperienced and trying to do all this stuff because she's trying to look up to the heroes and stuff. And why is she taking orders from him when she's supposed to be like a lot older and such? I don't exactly know. None of this is really making much sense to me. Just like Dark Crisis on Infinite Earths as a whole, there was some potential there, but with all the spin-offs and all the filler stuff, I haven't liked really any of it. The only spin-off one I liked was the Jeremy Adams stuff, and even like his little story in here isn't half bad. It could fit in line with what's going on in the Flash book, but the overall like Dark Crisis story and all of it, I'm just like waiting for this to end. But it's not like it feels like we're going to take a break from events, because immediately after this we're getting Lazarus Planet and then Dawn of DCU, and there's probably going to be 100 other events. I'm tired of events right now at DC Comics. Can we just... After Dawn of DCU, I don't want any other events really for the rest of the year. Maybe like at the very end, but we need to go a long period of time before we go back into some events again, because I'm just burnt out on events. It just feels like we just keep adding more and more and more stuff, like just filler, like pointless stuff that doesn't really add much to the overall story, and you can just skip them altogether. Like if you never read this story, you'd be perfectly fine with Dark Crisis and all that. It doesn't have any big major plot revelations or anything like that. Nothing too exciting or eventful happens in all this thing. It's just another issue, and I'm just kind of tired of having it just all be another issue. I want something substantial. I want something exciting, and Dark Crisis and all the spin-offs is just not giving me that. This event is disorganized, it's messy, and I'm excited for it all to end, quite frankly. So yeah, big letdown with Dark Crisis so far. So I may have been a little harsh on some aspects of this thing, but that's just kind of how I feel right now. So yeah, there you go. There's my quick thoughts. Welcome back to the comic book reviews, and I got Batman 130, which will be an interesting one to discuss, because that one I can see being 50-50 for anybody reading it. Some people will probably enjoy the ridiculousness of it, and some people will find it stupid, but I'll talk about that one right after this, so look forward to that. As always, take care now. Bye-bye then, and I'll see you all in the next video. Peace.